Good morning, folks. It's a gorgeous day. Beautiful day. Sunday morning. And we are on the way to Hengshan. The road to Hengshan today. I've got the missus on the back. And we're going to go take our morning hike. It's a gorgeous blue sky day today. Temperature, low 70s. Tell you, this time of year in Taiwan, some beautiful days. Wow, look at this guy coming up the hill here. Check him out. You go, boy. He's holding up traffic too. I would say only in Taiwan, but probably not. There are probably other countries where the old guy gets out on his mobility scooter and holds up traffic. Why not? If you got to get somewhere, you got to get somewhere. A little later start today. Usually we try to get on the road by about 6 o'clock to beat the crowd. Not that there's a big crowd, but just to get out there early, take advantage of the cooler weather. But hey, this time of year, cooler weather kind of extends into the day. So yeah, what time is it? It's 7:20. 7:20. Yesterday we had massive exercise. We hiked Hengshan in the morning, and then we visited the Wufeng village. We visited my friend Mr. Wu, and walked all over town looking at his creations. Mr. Wu decorated his town and rescued it from obscurity. Actually turned that town a little bit into a tourist destination. And then in the evening we went to the night market and walked the length of that about 3 times, I believe. So yeah, yesterday was a lot of walking. Hey, over there we got the meat family. They butcher a pig in the morning and then they sell all the pieces parts during the day. And from what I understand, at the end of the day, whatever doesn't get sold gets ground up into sausage. I shouldn't even say the end of the day, at the end of the morning. They're only open in the morning. They will kill a pig and generally sell almost all of that pig by 11 or 12 in the morning. No refrigeration. The pieces of the pig just hang on hooks in that truck there, and they sell it quickly. But that meat is fresh. The animal wakes up in the morning thinking it's just going to be another day, but the farmer and the meat dealer, they have other plans. So yeah. It's kind of sad when you think about it. It's sad that pigs are made out of such delicious meat. It's just too tempting for the human race. A lot of animals are like that. They're just too delicious. Yesterday at the night market, we had for the first time ostrich. We had ostrich meat on skewers. How's that for cruel and unusual punishment? As we were munching on the meat, it occurred to both of us that we were eating big bird. Oh no, if you're in Michigan, you're having venison while you're eating Bambi, but in the night market, if you're eating ostrich meat, you're eating big birds. So, a small act of barbarism on our part. I gotta apologize to the ostrich, but boy, it was tasty. Yeah, let's do it. We got a couple of ways. We could have stayed on that main road there, but I just think the scenery is so much nicer here. So we'll go down this road. Slow it down and go down this road right here a little bit. This road? Yeah, why not? I have a daughter who's vegan, and I admire her moral stance regarding cruelty toward animals. If I was a better person, I would follow in her footsteps. I've been eating meat such a long time, it's kind of hard to break the habit, I guess. These are all little tiny farms by American standards. They barely rate as more than gardens. There's a farm that maybe is 2 acres. Another farm maybe 2 acres. Acre. Land being so precious here, the government does what it can to preserve agricultural land, but there's a steady encroachment. Now, we had the same thing back in Michigan. Some of the best farmland in the world, some of the best soil in the world, is now has been taken over by the suburbs. I think of south of Grand Rapids, places like Kentwood, especially. Land that was farmland when I was a kid now has the houses with the 1/4 acre yards that are grass. Grass grows real good because the soil's real good. But there won't be corn growing there anymore. Oh yeah, this place on the corner here. This is kind of a Buddhist Sunday school. It looks like they're getting ready to welcome the Sunday crowd. I don't think they actually have a service and a sermon. I think people come in there for classes and meditation. Some years ago, I was curious about the place, and I bought some bread up the hill at the bakery, and I stopped at that Buddhist establishment there and wandered in and met the head monk, and we broke bread together. Actually, we didn't have to break it; it was already pre-sliced. But his concern was that it was all it was vegan. There's no meat products in there. It's like, no, there's no meat in this bread. This is just grain, So yeah, I didn't break bread with him with the bread that has cheese in it. That would have been against his rules. A very, very nice guy. He explained a little bit about it. It was an education center for Buddhism. Couple of bikers this morning. They're doing it the hard way. They're going to pedal all the way up to the temple. I used to like the bicycle, but you know, the seats are so skinny on modern bikes. Cut your ass right in half. It's really not comfortable. That's my excuse for it. Oh, there's anyhow. Yeah, bikes. I don't ride bikes anymore. When I was young, I rode a bicycle from Grand Rapids, Michigan to Lexington, Kentucky. And then later that same summer, I rode a bicycle from Grand Rapids, Michigan to Hamilton, Ontario. A couple of long rides. Got an incredible sunburn on the trip to Kentucky on a bicycle. I finally called off that ride. I was going to go to Florida, but it was summertime. It was brutally hot. I was getting sunburned, so ended up taking the bicycle apart at a bike shop. It went in a box, shipped it on ahead, and got a Greyhound bus the rest of the way to Miami. I don't do bicycles anymore. I like to walk. Now, if I just slow down a little bit here, that van will no longer be part of the scenery. So let's just do that. Let's let that van get ahead of us. You know, there are parts of Taiwan that are so heavily industrialized. I'm thinking of Taichung and Kaohsiung in the south. So many factories there, and the air is so dirty, so polluted. I feel sorry for the folks who live there. They have to deal with that dirty air every day. Here in the northwest part of Taiwan, there is manufacturing, but this particular area, we're pretty much countryside, and the air is delightfully clean. And of course, when you get up in the mountains here and you're surrounded by all the trees and plants, it's oxygen rich, and I would even say therapeutic. When I came back to Taiwan from living in the States, I was recuperating from 2 bouts of pneumonia, and I was what I would describe in a weakened state. And in the last month, coming up here and hiking has really restored my lungs. I feel so much better now. It's funny how time goes. I'm 70 now, but it seems like just yesterday I was a kid jumping around on stage playing bass in a rock and roll band and exercising all my God-given rights to have bad habits, like smoking cigarettes and drinking beer. I don't do that anymore. Try to maintain my health at this point. I don't stock sugar in the house. We stopped we try to stay away from processed food, processed meats, food that comes in a can, red meat, fried foods. I read a book a long time ago, The China Study, and it was a book that detailed a long-running documentation of the difference in health outcomes for folks in China who pursued different diets. In certain parts of the country were notable for their different diets. Some parts of the country were more heavily plant-based, and other parts of the country were more meat-based. And it was a study that ran for 20 years involving thousands of people, and the records were kept quite well. I believe they relied somewhat on government records, and the result was that the folks who are consuming a mostly plant-based diet had fewer health problems and lived longer. So, the China Study, that was called. So I'm always trying to keep that in mind. My wife, fortunately for me, is also interested in eating healthy food, so she makes sure I eat a lot of green vegetables, that kind of stuff. Well, folks, here we are at the temple. Well, that's a pretty bike. Look at that. It's a yellow Vespa. Lovely. Wow, beautiful. Here we are at the temple. We're going to park this critter, and we're going to walk the trail. I don't think I'm going to film that. All these bikers come up here. So I think I'm going to call it a video right here. I hope everybody has a grand and glorious day, a blessed day, a fantastic day. And we will catch you on the next video.